Okay, so somebody said, can you show the people how to switch modes? How do you steady your mind? How do you tap into the abundance creative mode frequency? It's taken me a couple days to make this video. So, how to shift from survival and scarcity into abundance. There are a lot of hacks and there are a lot of different methods that different people talk about and swear by, but here's the deal. What it comes down to is assuming it's so. If you understand universal laws, the law of assumption, if you're familiar with Neville Goddard, those are some teachings. If you aren't familiar, look into Neville Goddard and the law of assumption. There are a lot of other creators, like modern creators, who talk about this, but it's living in the end. It's being delusional, honestly. Like, Delulu really is the Salulu. It's being able to, for me, I'm a seer, so I visualize the thing that I'm manifesting. Or like, if I'm just in scarcity, if I'm in survival and I catch that, and I want to quickly tap into the frequency of abundance or shift back into creative mode, my personal biggest hack is a nap. And before the nap, I'll do a sat scene, which is state akin to sleep. So whenever you start to like drift off into sleep and your brain waves, I'm not going to get all into alpha, theta, like naming the brain waves, but when you're in that kind of in-between space, just before you drift off into sleep, that is prime time for visualizing, for manifesting. So for me, I'll get into that state, still my mind, and I have these sat scenes, these particular scenes that I've created for myself that feel like abundance. You can reach out to me if you need like a specific example for yourself. I'm not gonna like divulge all of the details in my sat scenes, but well, here we go. One of my sat scenes that feels like abundance is me and my best friend on a plane taking a spontaneous trip because we just got it like that. That feels good to me. I have sat scenes of playing with my kids, gardening in the yard of my dreams, right? On the property of my dreams. So you can use these sat scenes to like energetically pull you into the frequency of abundance because you're imagining things that feel like abundance. But literally, guys, all it comes down to is deciding right now, like right now, that you are whole, you are worthy, that no matter what kind of self-work you feel like you need to do to be worthy, you can decide to put all of that down. You guys are familiar with Erykah Badu, Baglady, right? It's literally like the switching from survival and scarcity to creative mode is literally putting the bags down and deciding, you know what? I don't have to carry these anymore. You don't have to continue perpetuating the identity you've created for yourself, the identity who doesn't feel worthy, who, has rejection and abandonment wounds and issues with abundance and a dysregulated nervous system. You can literally decide today, right now, consciously. You don't even have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be in meditation. It doesn't have to be over a nap. You can literally just decide in this very moment, you know what, today, right now, I'm releasing the identity that I've carried up to this point. I realize that I'm the creator of my reality, and so anything that doesn't feel good is an illusion. Any belief that I have about myself that doesn't feel good and that doesn't support abundance and creativity is an illusion. It's a self-limiting belief, and I can decide to put that down right now. And to someone who maybe hasn't done a lot of inner work, and who still feels heavily tied to their egoic identity, I realize that this sounds like a big thing, but it's not, guys. The first time that I consciously shifted from survival and scarcity to abundance, there was nothing, well, I say nothing. Prior to that, there was nothing in my reality that was indicating a shift. It was me deciding. It was me saying, I've been telling a story up to this point that tells me that there's never enough and that there's always more to yearn for, or that I'm not worthy. And I decided that that wasn't going to be true for me anymore. And so I made the decision to be abundant and to go from survival and lack to, you know what, I'm going to take over creative control and I'm going to create the life that I want. And that part was instant. Now, the trick is like holding that when your reality, like your physical 3D reality hasn't provided you evidence of that shift yet. You have to just know. And this is where being delusional comes in, where it's like, I'm living in the end. I know that if I want a homestead on 20 acres and financial freedom and all of these other things for my life, healthy children, that starts with me making a decision. And if I'm making that decision, then I'm probably going to bring myself into alignment, right? If I'm affirming for health for me and my kids, I'm probably going to do things that support our health, like eating healthy and making sure we exercise and ground and meditate and all of that stuff, right? If I'm affirming that I'm worthy and deserving of healthy love, then that starts with me deciding, you know what, I love myself. I'm going to treat myself the way that I want to be treated by someone else. I'm going to honor myself, trust myself, not betray myself. I'm going to honor the promises and commitments that I make to me. I know I'm getting really wordy with this, but hopefully you're following where I'm going. Like, it starts with a decision that I no longer have to strive for anything. And if you're somebody who, like, especially with finances, if you're in a bind with finances, or it's like rent's due tomorrow and I need the money and I don't have it in my hand right now, I understand that that feels hard, but you can literally decide that things are always working out for you, that the money that you need comes to you right on time, that you always have more than enough, that things are always working out for you for your highest good. And making those kinds of decisions, it leads to insights, what we call downloads in the spiritual community, ideas coming to us, taking inspired action, reaching out to so-and-so because we were just, all of a sudden, we just felt like maybe we needed to reach out to so-and-so. It can be feeling an energetic pull to, you know, I think I ought to stop by XYZ today. Listen to that. Take the inspired action and watch how the universe, how source, God, whatever you call it, aligns things in your favor and provides for you and will provide the evidence that you need to be like, hell yeah, I create my own reality. You're damn right, I'm a creator. I'm not in survival, I'm abundant. Guys, I know people, and I'm one of them, I know people who have quit their jobs without any real plan B or backup, who have not worked a regular job in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, because they trusted their own ability to be disciplined, to get into alignment with their highest timeline, with their desires, and who trusted God or the universe or source, spirit, whatever, to meet them halfway. And we're still out here making it, y'all. Thriving, even. Creating a life that feels good without the restrictions or the resistance or the caged feeling that sometimes a job and its rules can create. So if you want like more specific examples on this, let me know. If you need help coming up with sat scenes for when you're meditating right before bed or when you first wake up, reach out to me. Hopefully I've answered this question, but literally, guys, it's just a decision. It can be as simple as a decision. Whatever it takes for you to release the belief that you have to strive to survive, and for you to believe that things are always working out for you, that you're abundant, that you always have more than enough. Whatever it takes for you to switch from the old belief to the new one, that's all you have to do to tap into abundance. So it could take months, it could take weeks, or you could do it today, in minutes, seconds even.